Can you guess the game based on the negative review? Welcome to That Co-op Podcast, where controller meets conversation. I'm Anna.
And I'm Ed. Today, we'll be trying to identify video games based only on negative reviews they have received. Some of these games may be objectively bad games, while others may be great games with some equally great haters. Play along with us and let us know how many you guessed correctly in the comments. Do you want to kick us off?
Okay, so our first negative review from Stout River, who gave it a 4. I'm completely disappointed with this game because of its length. The game itself isn't bad, but it doesn't come close to Blank, which is its predecessor, which is way better. But 15 hours for a full playthrough definitely isn't worth 45 euros. There's just too little content, and the publisher once again showed their greed.
15 hours. And it's a sequel.
It's not a sequel.
It's another game by the same developer who made a game that is quote unquote better than the one that they're reviewing.
Exactly.
Is it Silksong?
Not Silksong. Okay, so another similar one. Sorry to say this, but I wanted to like this game at least as much as I liked Blank. But me and my friend are finding this really boring, and we decided to return it to Amazon.
15 hours. It's a short game.
And everyone's comparing it to Blank.
To the developer's first game.
Yeah, well, not the first one, but yeah, the
last
one before, yeah. And that should be a big hint.
One game that was just so wildly good
before this one.
Before the game that became a massive disappointment.
Yeah.
Is this a game that I have played? We have played?
Yes.
We have played?
Yes.
15 hours. Is it Split Fiction?
It is Split Fiction.
Ooh,
Yep. The next one we
found different reviews because that was going to be my first game.
Wow. Okay. Well, maybe this is the one. I don't want to steal yours, but I was going to give this review next because it's more in depth. In simple words, and everyone's giving it a 4. In simple words, it's boring. There are a few fun moments and ideas and mechanics, but not enough. 80% of game is repetitive and boring. Me and my girlfriend played it, and it was such a drag. We just wanted it to end sooner. Games like Cuphead and even It Takes Two are way better and entertaining than this one.
Cuphead? What's that got to do with anything?
I have no idea. It's like it is designed only for non-gamers and people who have never seen any motorbike sequence, dragon riding, sword play, and ... in any game. Story is straight up bad. Characters are unlikable and shallow, and we got no connection with them. At least It Takes Two characters' interactions were funny. World is so empty, and you have nothing to explore and do. It Takes Two had some semi-open maps with lots of fun stuff. Puzzles are so easy and repetitive. There isn't any challenge or excitement. It Takes Two was easy as well, but at least had enough diversity and ideas not to get bored. There are no original gameplay ideas before the last 2 hours of game, which is a bit fun. All gameplay mechanics are so easy, shallow, and underwhelming.
Wow. I mean, look, I have been on the internet very publicly saying that Split Fiction was not a game that I 100% enjoyed.
Sure.
I have said that I had fun playing it and that I would probably play it again if we swapped characters.
Yeah.
Because I've been very vocal that it is not a 50-50 experience. One person does most of the work throughout the game, but I disagree with it being it was never boring.
It wasn't boring.
There is stuff I think there's just as much to explore as It Takes Two didn't have an open world-esque thing where you got to like go off and like there were secrets to find.
Yeah.
Just like Split Fiction.
Yep.
I think there were moments in Split Fiction that were truly wonderful experiences. Right at that very end, when you were going back and forth between the two worlds,
that was really cool.
That should have been the whole game.
Yeah.
If they had done that the whole time, I'd be saying
especially
way
with
different
that
things
title.
about this game.
It seemed like that is what it was going to be.
That you were supposed to be jumping from the past to the future throughout the entire game, not just a chapter of the future, a chapter of the past. It's not my favorite game, but I disagree with a lot of these. A lot of the reviews that I found, a lot of people gave the game bad reviews because EA, who was the publisher, did not localize it in a ton of languages.
I saw that too.
People were mad that they couldn't play it in I think
Arabic.
Russian I saw, Arabic I saw. EA did not localize the game in as many languages as they had hoped. So there are people who just can't play this game because they don't understand the dialogue.
I know. I was going to
stuff.
read that as a bonus one because I thought that was really interesting.
Yeah. This one says worst game ever. I've never played such a boring game in my life. This game wastes so much time. I have other much more important important games to play. They gave it a 1.
Wow.
I do not think it is a game that deserves a negative review.
No.
If I were on Metacritic, I would probably give it a mixed, one of those yellow reviews. I would give it a mixed review.
And if I hadn't played It Takes Two, I would have probably liked it more and would have been like, wow, this is amazing. Yeah. But
It Takes Two sets the bar so high for any co-op game.
Especially with that same developer. Like they just had an impossible task to do. They hit
such a home run that you can't help but compare everything else to it.
Yeah.
It's going to be near impossible for them to reach that again. Almost impossible for them to surpass it.
Yeah,
Split Fiction is fun, but it is not It Takes Two.
No.
This game was actually the one game I found on Metacritic that had a negative critic review. Not just users, but an actual critic.
It was hard to find those. I couldn't find any.
Giving it a negative review.
Okay.
The Gamer gave it a 40. Ultimately, blank finally lets you experience a story in this world that doesn't feel out of place, marked with a tone of childlike innocence that for once doesn't diminish the seriousness of the subjects that it presents. Unfortunately, the performance is so abruptly bad that it completely ruins to an infuriating extent what otherwise could have been the best blank game to date.
Wow. Okay. So a serious topic. Is it like motion capture type performance? No. Or okay. So the like actual like the run, how the game runs.
The way the game actually runs.
Wait, can you read the first sentence again?
Ultimately, blank finally lets you experience a story in this world that doesn't feel out of place, marked with a tone of childlike innocence that for once doesn't diminish the seriousness of the subjects that it presents.
Okay.
I think that sentence, because it's probably coming from a critic, you would not immediately think this game to be a serious game. Okay. There is a serious tone, and it does have a bit of a somewhat serious storyline, but that would not be your immediate reaction to a game from this world.
Okay. It's not Little Nightmares, is it?
It is not Little Nightmares.
Okay.
Would you like me to read the second critic score?
Yeah.
Who I'm guessing maybe came from Germany.
Okay.
Gave it a 20. A square wheel spins more smoothly and fluidly than this game.
Okay.
If 3 or more characters come into view at once, the whole game creaks and falters. Edge off unplayable. And that's a shame, because the addition of an open world is, on paper, a great idea to refresh the franchise. No more linear walking that takes you past blank, and ever stronger and different blank. You can go wherever you want. With some tactics, you can take on some very tough challenges with blank that aren't nearly strong enough. Except this game just wasn't ready. It's shameless that Nintendo and blank are still throwing it on the market.
Is this Breath of the Wild?
It is not.
Oh, okay.
Nevertheless, 10 million games sold in just 3 days.
Is this a Pokemon game? Is this ZA?
No.
Open world.
We've had this conversation before.
Arceus? I don't think I know this. I mean, I probably know it.
Pokemon Scarlet and Violet.
Oh, I would never have guessed that.
Yeah, we've had that conversation before, though. It is...
Well, yeah, but you also have said that for all of them in
to a certain extent.
Nintendo space.
To a certain extent,
or the Switch space, sorry.
Yes. But when it first released, Pokemon Scarlet and Violet was a complete disastrous
that's
mess.
the one with the weird...
horrible glitches that you can see.
The bike and the... Got it. Okay. Yeah. I truly do not pay attention to the new
No. And I put that up there, one, because I knew for a fact there would be plenty of negative reviews.
Yeah.
And 2, I know that you haven't played it, but I know that we've had that conversation of it looking like complete trash.
Yeah. Now, and I said ZA because you've said the same thing. Like, you've showed me while you're currently playing this game, you're like, hey, I like this game, but look at this. This is awful.
Maybe this is a bit of a foreshadowing to an episode of the future, but I've got my hot takes related to modern Pokemon games as someone who, if you have not noticed, enjoys the Pokemans. User reviews. Definitely the worst Pokemon game ever.
Wow.
I wouldn't care if it disappeared.
Oh, wow.
I don't agree with that. Foreshadowing maybe later. This game is an embarrassment for a franchise that once defined handheld RPGs. On the Nintendo Switch, a console that has delivered technical marvels like Breath of the Wild and Super Mario Odyssey, this game looks and runs like a rushed beta. Performance, constant frame drops, glitches, and visual bugs plague the experience. The open world is riddled with pop-in, broken textures, and laughably poor animations. It feels unfinished, as if Game Freak had no idea how to develop for modern hardware. Graphics, bland environments, flat lighting, and character models that look outdated even by 3DS standards. The Switch has
3DS standards, wow.
The Switch has proven it can handle vast, beautiful worlds, but Scarlet settles for mediocrity. Gameplay, while the open world concept had potential, it's wasted on repetitive objectives, shallow exploration, and a lack of meaningful progression. The freedom is an illusion. The game funnels you into predictable battles and fetch quests, story and characters, forgettable, uninspired, and padded with dialogue that adds nothing. Rivals and NPCs are caricatures, offering no emotional weight or memorable arcs. That I disagree with. Overall polish, Scarlet feels like a cash grab. All Pokemon games are. Banking on the Pokemon brand rather than delivering a product worthy of the Switch era. Verdict, Pokemon Scarlet is the worst kind of disappointment. A flagship title that fails to meet even basic standards of quality. On a console capable of breathtaking experiences, Scarlet stands out as a shameful reminder of how far this series has fallen.
Wow.
And unfortunately, they're not entirely wrong. I do disagree about the characters, and I will say that. And I will say, for those of you out there who maybe have played Scarlet and Violet on the original Nintendo Switch, if you have one or are planning on getting a Switch 2, they did update it. It actually runs significantly better. It is finally a playable game. It is a fun game to play if you're into Pokemon. Just understand that the Switch 2 is not going to make the world look any better. The textures are what they are. They just don't bug out every 10 seconds. And it's a shame that it took a second generation console to run a game for the previous generation's console.
Yeah, they flopped on that.
They really flopped. But yeah, maybe foreshadowing. Pokemon's 30th anniversary is coming up. We've talked about doing some Pokemon episodes of the podcast, and I've got my hot takes.
Well then, okay. So actually my next pick is going to be pretty easy to choose from.
Okay.
Staying in that world?
All right.
Someone said, give it a 4. A very non-existent story. I don't see how this game was so highly rated, but it's the same with Pokemon games that came before this as well.
That could be many of them.
Absolutely overrated game with outdated graphics and a combat that is still too slow. Not recommended.
Is it Sword and Shield?
No.
No? Okay. Is it a Nintendo Switch Pokemon game?
No.
No. Okay. It's not a Nintendo Switch Pokemon game.
No. And I will say the user score is an 8.8.
So most people like it. Is it black and white?
No.
No? Because that's the game that's pretty generally hated by the Pokemon community.
Almost the same game as Blank and Blank, but even worse. More HMs, more stupid fillers, almost no addition, same stupid story. This game has gotten old. The only good addition was, I don't know if I want to say that, Blank. And it's still something boring, repetitive, and almost unplayable these days. There's even a place where the game plays for you. So fun. I hate that person. Not a bad game by itself, but the least innovative of all the famous third versions Pokemon games tend to receive during their generational cycle.
Is this Emerald?
It is Emerald.
Yeah.
While previous entries like Yellow changed the story in concrete ways and Crystal fixed less playable aspects, here the story has changed only superficially, with the evil teams doing the exact same things except taking turns instead of it being one or another, and some short cutscenes at the climax, not enough to bulk up the relatively lacking RS versions.
Well, okay, but Pokemon Yellow is just red and blue again.
Right.
The only thing Yellow did to change the story was they introduced Jesse and James to make it fit with the anime. That's it. It is exactly the same game. The levels are different. Like the gym leaders are higher leveled than they are in Red and Blue. But the story is exactly the same. What do you mean it changed? That guy's dumb.
Yeah. I mean,
the whole point is that it's the same game.
Right.
It's just it was built for the Game Boy Color rather than the Game Boy. So it's a little bit nicer looking. It has nicer colors and it plays a little bit better.
Yeah.
That's it. You get a Pikachu.
Right.
Not like a stupid.
Yeah. So that I wanted to put that in because
there's another hot take. That guy is what's wrong with Pokemon.
Right. I was going to say this is obviously one of the best Pokemon games ever made. So I wanted to find, I specifically saw that and was like, ooh, I want to see if there are any negative reviews on this. And I only found a couple. Well, it says 48.
Again, with the way our brains are working, I almost picked Emerald.
Really?
I had it linked and I got rid of it.
Oof.
I had it linked and I got rid of it because I knew that would be a Pokemon game that you would probably be able to guess.
Yeah.
This one has no negative critic reviews. This person gave it a 4. Fun to play through, but a quick play. Graphics for playing it now just don't hold up. Overall, good story, decent dialogue and characters, and an overall too short experience for what they could have accomplished. And I will say, this was written in November of 2024.
Portal 2.
No, not a bad guess. I think you're on the right track in terms of general time of when this game was released.
Because I think I saw, this might be another one that I have. Because that review sounded familiar.
The story is too juvenile to keep me interested in the game mechanics, which are quite interesting. And I quickly became bored. I felt like I was being forced to watch a teenage drama.
Is this Undertale?
It is not Undertale. This one might really give it away. Okay. This is the one, like, if I were reading this one is almost exactly the same comment I have, except I would not have given it a 0. This person gave it a 0.
Wow.
Never have I been so angered by the ending of a video game. The entire point of the story is, hey, you know that hours and hours upon gameplay you just went through? Yeah, you shouldn't have done any of that. There are some great moments throughout the game, but that is all undone at the end when the right choice is to undo everything you did, making the entire gameplay meaningless.
Can I get another one?
Okay. This person gave it a 3. Most overrated game I know. And this is wrong. It says the college setting. They're not in college. But I understand what they're going for. Okay. The college setting didn't appeal to me at all. And the characters couldn't compensate for that either. We have the boring, shy, and nerdy blank, name of a character. The naive, yet super annoying, rebellious blank. And, just to complete the list with whatever cliched students you can think of. I found the story completely predictable and at the same time not very believable. Gameplay is pretty much non-existent, just running around listening to monologues about coffee machines and cameras.
Okay, yeah.
If the information about it was at least interesting or funny, but no. The only thing I can praise the game for, decisions actually have noticeable consequences. However, that goes nowhere if they leave me absolutely cold emotionally because I can't stand the characters and I don't care about them.
Is this Life is Strange?
It is Life is Strange.
Okay.
And I actually almost flip-flop my opinion from this guy because I believe the decisions in Life is Strange do not matter. The game pretty much ends regardless of what you do in just about the same way.
Yeah.
The difference being, do you save what's-her-face from jumping off the building or not? Like, very small, minute things that really do not affect the true ending of the game. That's where my criticism comes in.
Or I know there was a decision about the other character, not Max, but
Chloe.
Yeah, where she could have
gotten shot.
Yeah. And like not saving her, but like killing her, I think. But I doubt that was actually would affect the end of the game.
I thought the sentence about cameras would have given it away.
Oh, yeah.
And that's what they were talking about with the first, like the teenage drama and all that stuff. And they're not in college. I don't think they're in. I think that's mostly high school aged people. But I don't think Life is Strange is like the greatest game ever written. No. And I remember when we played it, we definitely had moments where we were like, this dialogue is dumb.
Yeah, so parts of it are just really
like
not
you
written
could
well.
tell 45-year-old men wrote dialogue for 16-year-old girls.
Girl, yeah.
They're like, what would a 16-year-old girl say in this moment? Boy, I wish I had a latte.
It was cringy.
Yeah, they went as cringy as it could. And actually, this is what this person said. Besides the decent voice acting, Life is Strange is one of the most cringy, horribly written, and annoying games I've ever played. Hated almost everything about it.
Wow.
I enjoyed the game.
I enjoyed it. And I thought the story was good, especially how they wrap it up. Like
the concept is nice.
I like the concept.
The idea of what you can do in the game is nice.
Yeah.
Life is Strange suffers from the same problem that most other video games where they claim that you have branching choices and it affects the story. Mostly a lie.
Yeah.
Almost every video game that claims what you do in the game affects the ending of the game is mostly lying to you. It makes such small, little, minute changes that it doesn't matter.
Right.
There are a few games out there that absolutely can end incredibly differently depending on the decisions you make. But most of the games that claim that are lying to you.
Yeah.
I don't think it's worthy of like a 0 out of 10 or anything like that.
I don't need to play it again, but it was like the first time you played it, there were definitely some gasps and
there were some moments
that were,
some emotional moments.
Yeah.
I think True Colors I liked more than Life is Strange. The original Life is Strange. I think True Colors was better. I don't know how the internet agrees or disagrees with me on that one. And we never played Life is Strange 2. I don't really feel like it, if I'm being honest. But maybe someday.
Yeah.
But hey, if you're enjoying our content and haven't already, please take a moment to subscribe on YouTube or follow us on your favorite podcast app. Give us a like, maybe even a 5-star review. Tell Anna she's pretty. Every bit of support helps others find the show and encourages us too. Thank you guys for the support. Thank you guys for those of you who do comment and like our podcast or gameplay videos. We really do appreciate you guys quite a bit. It keeps us motivated.
Yeah, really. Like even one person commenting, where I'm like, like it, comment back, because it's
hey,
cool
we respond to every comment.
Yes, it's cool to know that like people are actually watching.
Yeah, it's nice.
So
it makes us feel good about ourselves.
Yes.
What game do you got?
Okay,
baby?
and next one. This person rated this a 4. With such a highly thought of game, I really wanted to like this one. I have given it several tries, but I just can't waste time not having fun with this game anymore. The main issue is that the combat is awful. And with combat being such a huge part of this game, it really makes the entire game an unpleasant experience. What is wrong with the combat? First, your attack range is incredibly short. Second, many things you attack move towards you after being hit. You only dash forwards. Everything you try to attack is more than likely to hit you in return. So you spend the entire game running away from the things you are trying to fight. Then, after nearly every enemy, you have to stop and heal. You can't wait until you're really low on health because you can only hold enough magic to heal 3 times, and you have to stand there defenseless for a good second for each health point. So just with trying to keep your health up, you never really have the flexibility to use your magic for other things. There's an equipable upgrade that's supposed to increase your attack range, but it really doesn't make a noticeable difference. I think that the world they made is interesting and the art is nice, so I give it as high of a score as possible for that. But the game has to be fun to play as well. With so many other options out there, I just can't give this one any more of my time.
Read the sentence about you lunge forward or the enemies lunge at you.
Yeah, let's see. First, your attack range is incredibly short. Second, many things you attack move towards you after being hit. You only dash forwards. Everything you try to attack is more than likely to hit you in return, so you spend the entire game running away from the things you are trying to fight.
I'm like sitting here going like, attack, and then they come like trying to act out the game.
And that's like pretty much the entire game.
And then they come at you. Is it a turn-based game?
No.
It can't be if that's what they're saying.
No. Nice graphics, nice music, boring gameplay. This is good for an art museum, not a game. The difficulty is you spawning 10 screens away from the boss, forcing you to spend 45 minutes to try a boss encounter again. Plain stupid and boring gameplay.
What?
Let's see. I'm trying to
Is this Hollow Knight?
It is Hollow Knight.
Okay. Hey, I gotta close my window out. Yeah, our brains are thinking a lot alike today.
Okay, this one says Hollow Knight, again, scored out of 4. Hollow Knight is literally the most overrated game I have ever played. I didn't even bother getting too far into the game because it was just so boring. I wanted to like it, but I just couldn't. I heard so many good things about this game and was disappointed, to say the least. Honestly, I would probably like this game if I gave it another chance, but I just don't want to. The game just feels so empty and with incredibly boring gameplay and unoriginal, boring mechanics. I just never understood why everyone loved this game.
I know you have played a little Hollow Knight. I know you've even said like you need to get back into it.
I did a little bit.
I tried playing a little Hollow Knight, and actually it was one of the first gameplays we put up, maybe even in our first couple of episodes of the podcast, we had Hollow Knight gameplay going on. I actually didn't mind the combat part. I'm not a platforming kind of guy.
Yeah.
I don't really enjoy platforming games, and that's where the game loses me.
Mm-hmm.
It feels kind of like what that guy said. It feels like a burden to traverse the world to get to your goals.
Mm-hmm.
I would much rather have a world filled with Hollow Knight's combat than having to jump up and down 13 different platforms to get to a new screen. Like, if you don't know what you're doing, it's very easy to get lost and stuck.
But I also, and we've had this conversation before, I also know that that's the point of the game,
and
is
there
to be
are plenty
so
of people,
unforgiving, and to have
it's a
that
Souls-like.
tedious.
It really does play like a Dark Souls game.
Yeah. I forget what that style is called, but the
Souls-like.
Is it?
That's what they would call it.
Okay.
And the combat kind of tries to play like a Souls-like too. If you die, you lose your resources and you have to go back and pick them up.
It is
if you die a second time before you get them, you just lose everything.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. It is unforgiving. And that isn't my style of gameplay. I don't love those types of games. So that's why I couldn't really get into it. I like everything else. Like if it was more forgiving and I could progress and then have saves and do all that stuff, I would like it a lot more. It's just not my type of game. I get beautiful, really beautiful game.
The music is incredible.
Music's great. I like the boss, even though they're hard. I like them. They're enjoyable.
I think it's a very creative game.
Yeah.
I really like, and this.
I need someone to hold my hand for every game that I play.
There
so
needs
this one
to be
was
an
just
easy mode.
Yeah, it was just too hard for me.
Yeah.
that's the thing.
There needs to be an easy mode, and there isn't.
Yeah.
And if your version of an easy mode is to like pull a map up on the screen on like a computer or something so you can follow where you're supposed to go, because it's just so easy to get lost.
I know. And I would be
circle
constantly
back
doing
for 20 minutes. And that's where it lost me.
Right.
The game doesn't really tell you what it wants you to do next. A couple of times it hints at it, be like, oh, you just got this new power up that allows you to cut through vines. And you're like, oh yeah, 35 minutes ago, there was a vine that I now have to find my way back to cut open. I get why people enjoy it. It's just not really my thing.
Yeah. I get why people don't enjoy it, but I also don't, I personally wouldn't score it then, because it's not the game for me.
Correct.
I'm not the demographic. So I wouldn't bother giving it a 4. I think it's a good game. I wouldn't give it a 4. I give it much higher, but it's just not the game for me.
Well, we're also not the demographic. We would never go online and start reviewing stuff,
that's
period.
True. Right.
Here's your next one, baby.
Okie dokie.
Where do I even begin?
Oh.
This person gave it a 3.
Oh boy.
Knowing who the villain is from the very start of the game just doesn't feel right. The main protagonists of this game feel kind of blank. I think you could resume their personalities by saying there are friends and they do things friends would do. But their friendship is not developed at all throughout the game.
Again, it's blunt fiction.
The only scene we have is at the start of the game with the friendship bracelets. And that's all. It's not like the start of Blank, where the friendship between blank, blank, and blank is developed in a simple yet well-done prologue tutorial. Having to complete the game with 3 characters to fully understand what's happening was kind of cool at the start, but playing the same worlds with little to no difference between each character just to see a different cutscene felt pretty boring during my second and third playthrough. Can I stop here?
Is it Birth by Sleep?
It is Birth by Sleep.
Got it.
He goes on to say, I think this multi-character feature was better in Chain of Memories and Dream Drop, where the play style of each character is different enough to not get bored during the playthrough. There's always the meme that Kingdom Hearts 2 is press X to win, but the same happens with this game. Press triangle until everyone is dead. Also, the difficulty curve is full of spikes. Being the highest peaks, the bosses around the end. My dude needs to learn how to write. When suddenly 90% of the abilities you got are useless, so you're forced to fill your command deck with surges and cure in order to be able to defeat the bosses.
Yeah, I'm okay. So I've gone on record to say that Birth by Sleep is my favorite. And I've realized now that I don't really remember a whole lot from Birth by Sleep. It's been so long since I've played it, and I do want to play it again. I know that I still will like it. I just can't really remember too much of like all 3 of them. I remember loving Aqua's story. I mean, she's the main character, really, of that game.
Yes, absolutely. This person gave it a 1.
Okay.
Classic Kingdom Hearts fanboyism. This game is nowhere near good.
Oh, okay.
The characters, Aqua, she's good, except her voice acting at times. Ventus had some growth, but fell flat in the end. Terra, I don't know where to begin. He's like Anakin Skywalker.
Yeah.
They all had no growth nor interest to me whatsoever. Gameplay, broken, unfair, and just difficulty spikes all over the place. The thunder and fire surges, even cures, are the most powerful commands. With attack and magic haste, you'd be godlike in every boss. No tactics at all, just fire, thunder, and cure. But endgame bosses, you can't use the commands that well. They are examples of difficulty spikes. Story, a mess. This game is the turning point to the franchise. Nothing makes sense at all. I'd rather play Metal Gear than this. Then play Metal Gear, dude.
And that's not even anywhere close to the same game. What?
The dialogue is more cheesy than Kingdom Hearts 1 about friendship. It's a bit tiring. Music, 10 out of 10. Overall, I wish this game could have taken more time because it had great potential. 1 out of 10.
Taken more time?
Yep.
Out of 3 characters playing the same game 3 times and you want more time?
Yeah. We didn't like that we went 3 times through the same game.
That I think about the characters is totally wrong. Because I think out of most of the games, I think they have the best story arc or character development, especially Aqua. Well, I think Ventus was probably the lamest out of all 3.
Yes, for sure. But that's also because I don't know how far in advance they were planning. And I don't know if I've said this publicly. Birth by Sleep works really well as its own standalone game. Mm-hmm. And then they tried to tie it all together.
Yeah.
But I'm wondering if they really did think that far ahead and they knew how important Ventus would be later on in the story. Mm-hmm. And that's why they didn't really give him a ton of character development because they were like, we're going to save this guy for later. Or they realized, well, we didn't do much with Ventus. Let's do something. Yeah,
let's make him really important all of a sudden.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then Terra had a decent story as well.
Yeah.
He
is Anakin Skywalker.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And I think that's interesting.
Yeah, they made Darth Vader.
That's
pretty
super
much
interesting.
That's probably exactly what they were going for. Inspiration comes from other forms of media. People quote unquote copy each other all the time.
Yeah.
And I think that's probably exactly what the developers thought. They were like, Anakin Skywalker with a Keyblade.
Yep. And dialogue, I would agree with, but that's the same for all the Kingdom Hearts games.
Right.
Dialogue is cheesy.
Dialogue is
it's a bit cringy.
My friends are my power.
Yeah. So, and that's been true from the beginning.
Correct.
So I think continuity-wise, fine. I don't know.
Star Wars in Kingdom Hearts 4?
I know.
Marvel in Kingdom Hearts 4?
Kingdom Hearts 4 at all?
Kingdom Hearts 4 in Kingdom Hearts 4?
That would be wild.
We'll tell you more about it when we're 50. I thought it would be fun if instead of talking about some gaming news in this podcast, we just talked briefly about this Metacritic article for the 10 worst games of 2025. We're still pretty early into the new year. Metacritic came out with the 10 worst reviewed games. Shout out to Jason Dietz. Credit to him for writing the article. And I'm not going to read this article. I will link it and you can go read it. But I do think it would be interesting to read some things and talk about it. Some of these games I've heard of. Most of them I haven't.
I was going to say, I've looked at it and I'm not really familiar. There's
a couple that I was familiar with.
Yeah.
At number 10, Fast and Furious Arcade Edition, which as far as I know is basically like an old arcade game that they ported now to the PlayStation.
God.
And the biggest criticism was it plays like an arcade game.
Right.
Because that's what it is. They didn't do anything to change it. They literally just put it on the PlayStation.
Copy paste PlayStation.
PSX Brazil said, looking like a shadow of the good games in the genre and the film franchise that gives it its name, Fast and Furious Arcade Edition might be worth a couple of tokens on the dusty arcade machines in a shopping mall, but its shallow concepts and meager content are utterly insufficient for anything even remotely meaningful beyond that. Okay. And then we actually have a 2-way tie for 8th place. So 8th and 9th place get shared by Scarlead Salvation and Cubite Classics Glover.
Could not tell you anything about this.
I know nothing about Scarlead or Scarled Salvation. I truly don't know. It looks like an anime RPG. This critic said a bland, repetitive roguelike that had the potential to be something far
that's
greater.
The word I was trying to think of for Hollow Knight.
Scar-led Salvation is disappointing in almost every aspect.
Oof.
And then Cubite Classics Glover. Glover was an old N64 game that was generally, as far as I'm aware, pretty hated when it first came out.
Oh.
Hasbro made this game.
Whoa.
This is a Hasbro video game.
Hasbro N64, interesting.
And no one really liked it when it first came out. But do you know
they're
what?
like, do it again.
Do you know what Hasbro said? Let's remaster it. They'll love it this time. Even in its remastered form, Glover is really frustrating to play and not an enjoyable experience at all. With the amount of games out there and the limited amount of time most of us have, you would be better off getting something else. Unless you really want a nostalgic trip to experience a rather bland re-release of a 3D platformer. I did know about this game. This is the first game on the list where I do remember seeing things about it. And I think there were actually people who were like, maybe even a little excited for the remaster. They thought maybe Hasbro would like change things and make it playable.
Yeah.
And all they pretty much did was throw you the same game and put it in HD, and it still sucks.
Yep.
Ambulance Life, a paramedic simulator, is the 7th worst game of 2025, getting a 44 generally unfavorable score on Metacritic. Ambulance Life is frustrating with its clunky game engine. If you're interested in medicine, it might be worth a try, but its major issues are hard to ignore. I can't even call it fun. Just go steal an ambulance in GTA 5. That's more entertaining.
Wow.
That one was funny when I read that too. The 6th worst game of 2025, Tamagotchi Plaza, Nintendo Switch 2 edition. So that's even a more recent game. It's a sequel. I know nothing about the Tamagotchi simulators, Animal Crossing version games. I don't know. And you know a game is bad when Nintendo publishes a game that Nintendo Life bashes.
Oof.
When Nintendo Life says a Nintendo game is bad, is bad.
Yikes.
Tamagotchi Plaza is a dull, vapid, and utterly unsatisfying minigame collection that rapidly overstays its welcome. Though charming and visually competent, the underlying gameplay is undercooked, unrewarding, and shallow with its free mobile game-like design. There may be a valid case here for playing with very young children for some very light and simple entertainment, but even then, the price tag is comically high for the shallowness and quantity of content you're getting.
Whew.
I'd suggest you steer clear. It's worth neither your time nor your money.
Wow.
The 5th worst game of 2025, Gore Doctor. Never heard of it. Gore Doctor aims to be a creepy psychological gore-filled horror game, but in the end feels cheap, clumsy, and poorly presented. It doesn't really get anything right.
Yeah.
Yikes. Take a shot every time I say gore. The 4th worst game, Spy Drops. Spy Drops desperately wants to be an authentic homage to the original Metal Gear Solid, but fails in almost every aspect. Riddled with issues, from the camera to the AI to the level-breaking glitches, there's simply little redeeming quality to this low-effort copy. Just do another rerun with Solid Snake himself and save yourself the pain of this. Number 3 on the list, Blood of Marin? I don't know. Again, another game I've never heard of. It's hard to find anything positive about Blood of Marin, a lifeless derivative action game that never comes close to offering even a shred of originality.
Wow.
That one hurts to read. Number 2, another Nintendo game.
Yeah, this one.
Fire Emblem Shadows. Now, I do know a little bit about this game. I think it's a mobile game.
Yeah, that's all I know about it.
There is a nugget of good idea here, and one that is interesting on paper. Unfortunately, Fire Emblem Shadows' most innovative ideas bump up against its mobile and free-to-play nature, resulting in a game that is both not for Fire Emblem fans and hard to recommend to anyone.
Wow.
GameSpot came in hard. And the worst game of 2025, this was a game that I knew about.
I did not.
Mind's Eye for the PS5 gets a 28 out of 100 on Metacritic.
Yikes.
And even Metacritic says that score seems too high for a game that multiple publications have called one of the worst in gaming history.
Wow. Congrats, Mind's Eye. That's big. That's huge.
You did it. The debut game from a new indie studio founded by former Grand Theft Auto producer Leslie Benzies is sci-fi tinged, not quite open world action adventure about neural implant technology set in a fictionalized version of Las Vegas. Intended to kick off not just a new studio, but an entire new gaming platform named Everywhere. Mind's Eye released in June as a glitchy, boring, and incoherent nightmare with nowhere near enough content to justify its $60 retail price.
Wow.
One of the worst video games of the modern era that clearly isn't finished, but just as clearly wouldn't be worth even a moment of your time if it was.
Whew.
So I don't know much from what I know about Everywhere, that new platform they mentioned. Mm-hmm. I believe it's meant to be sort of like an open source sandbox experience.
Okay.
If I'm playing Mind's Eye or another game on this platform, I can program and add something to the game that then other players would experience when they played the game.
Okay.
And if you're listening and I'm wrong, please let me know. But I think that's the general idea.
I feel like that.
Other companies have sort of messed with this a little bit. Death Stranding might be the best example, where if you're playing online and let's say I build a bridge to cross a river in Death Stranding, that bridge will actually stay there for you.
Cool.
You don't have to build it because I did it for you. Wow. The whole point of Death Stranding actually is a connective network of people helping people to survive this world.
Cool.
But it seems like this was clearly not much. I've heard about this game. I've seen trailers about it. I remember reading things and seeing gameplay on social media when it came out. And without even knowing about it, I looked at it and goes, this is horrific. This is bad. It is probably one of the worst games ever created.
Wow.
I'm pretty sure most people got refunded, and I don't know that the company survived.
Wow.
I think they're done.
Oof.
And I think Everywhere is nowhere. Everywhere and nowhere at the same time. Wow. Yeah, the worst game of 2025. Let's hope 2026 is a little bit nicer to us.
In every way.
In every way.
This first review.
Mind's Eye.
No. This first review scored a 3. Slow,
Tamagotchi.
tedious. It seems to be constantly begging, feel the emotion, feel the emotion, feel the sadness. But it's done in such a forced way that it takes away all the will to continue. There were 3 attempts to continue to finish, but it's simply impossible.
Feel the sadness.
Yeah, feel the sadness, feel the emotion. Blank has often been hailed as a masterpiece, but after attempts at playing through this game, I found it to be a largely overrated experience. What should have been an engaging post-apocalyptic journey felt like a predictable slog with little to keep me invested beyond the surface level plot. It is not Breath of the Wild. One of the major problems is how the game leans into standard apocalyptic tropes without bringing anything fresh to the table. The world is overrun, civilization has collapsed, and survivors have turned into ruthless scavengers. It's the same setup we've seen countless times before,
Fallout.
And Blank, doesn't do much to elevate it beyond that. Additionally, the AI in the game is frustratingly predictable and frankly dumb. Enemies and allies alike often act in absurd ways, whether it's companions loudly running around without consequences or enemies getting stuck in basic patterns. The AI lacks the intelligence needed to make encounters feel tense or challenging. This predictability makes stealth and combat feel more like a chore than a thrilling survival experience. As for the gameplay itself, it's a slow burn that borders on boring, so much so that it took me 6 attempts to complete this game, as I would give it up due to boredom.
Is this a game I've played?
Yes. Here's a shorter one. Gave it a 3. One of the most overrated games of all time, and nothing but a poor man's Resident Evil 4 with trash gameplay as well and below average storytelling.
Is this a game I like?
Yeah.
It's a game that I've played. And it's a poor man's Resident Evil 4?
Yep.
So is it meant to be like a horror experience?
Yeah.
And I've played it because I don't play horror games.
I wouldn't say this is overtly horror,
right?
The genre, but
it kind of has those moments.
Yeah.
Oh man, can you give me a platform? Or would that like completely give it away?
All of the
is it The Last of Us?
It is The Last of Us. Yep.
I don't know about that.
I know,
seems...
right? Because again, these are all games that like are some of the most
beloved games of all times,
and people are still finding ways to.
Well, and look, you're allowed to have your opinion, and you're allowed to not like it, but I don't know. This
person is confusing because they rated it a 0 and said one of the best games ever, but still cash grab. We get the third one the same. The price is sick.
Oh, I'm wondering if they're talking about because there's The Last of Us, They did The Last of Us. They remastered it.
Yeah.
And then they did the PS5, the complete edition.
Yes, I think this is the remastered version.
Yeah, and I agree with them on that one, that Naughty Dog needs to quit with the stupid...
I know.
Because then they released The Last of Us Part 2, and then like a year later, they remastered it. And it was like, the game just came out, dude. Calm
this is...
down.
I specifically picked the original one for PlayStation 3. I didn't do the remastered
I agree with,
version.
but that doesn't make it a bad game.
No.
Again, everyone's allowed to have an opinion, but there are a handful or so games in the world that I think are objectively great games.
Yeah.
And I think The Last of Us is one of them.
Yes.
I would refuse to listen to anyone that says The Last of Us is a bad game.
Agreed.
I would refuse to listen to them outright. Again, you have your opinion, but that opinion is pretty objectively incorrect.
Yeah. Which is why, again, I chose these because...
Sorry for anyone who hates that game.
I knew that not personally, because these are on like some of the best games ever reviewed, but either personally where I'm like, oh, this is just amazing.
Yeah.
And or I knew everyone else thought the same too, or this is just objectively an incredibly made game. So I just wanted to see if there even were good negative reviews that we could pull from any of this. And that was one where I'm just like, get over yourself. Yeah. Like, what are you talking about?
You're just wrong.
Yeah, just not. Yeah, especially when several people talked about like the story being predictable and boring, and I'm like, what is wrong with you? It's just, that's just not even true.
Yeah. Where do I start? It's not that it's just a literal copy paste from the original. It's something worse. More than 20 years to make nothing. How could they have made a worse game? They could have added new items, different effects. They could have put in a crafting system, a way to upgrade. The objectives could have been different, etc., etc. But no, they didn't. The pictures, which are supposed to be the core of the game, is literally the same as the original. No different lighting, no shadows, or something even remotely interesting. Oh, wait, and worst of all, in a game where you can only take pictures, there are no shinies. How on earth is that even possible?
Pokemon Snap.
Yeah, new Pokemon Snap.
I love this game.
I do too. And I will, again, foreshadowing, will go on record. New Pokemon Snap is the prettiest Pokemon game Game Freak has ever created. It's nothing gorgeous. Has come close.
Yeah, it is beautiful.
It's beautiful. I'm not going to say it's gorgeous. And it is the best looking game they have created. And nothing has even remotely come close to that. I mean, sure, it's the same game as original Pokemon Snap, but that's kind of the whole point.
Yeah, and I thought
it's Pokemon Snap with new Pokemon.
Well, but also the other mechanics of like, not necessarily mechanics, but the way that you can get different objectives. Like I've played that game. The
different little side photos you can go find.
And there's so many. And it just, maybe that can get a bit repetitive.
Take a photo of Pidgey pecking someone's eyeballs out.
Yeah, it's like so specific on what achievements you can get. And there was maybe a couple of similar things in the first one, but nothing compared to what the new one is.
We played that game together a lot. Like that was we sat on the couch after work.
And the base story is super simple, super easy to get through. But then again,
that's what it's supposed to be.
Right. And then you can come back and do all of those little side quests. Do the much harder,
find out how to get the Pokemon, do their specific poses.
Find different stuff every single time. And that was the other thing, like where in the first one, literally every time you play it, it's the exact same thing. Whereas in this one, there's nighttime mode, there's daytime, there's different locations of each location, like different things that you can unlock. And then even in those, the AI is generated so that the Pokemon act like real animals.
If you throw a berry at this Pokemon at this exact moment, it's going to fart, which will then attract this brand new Pokemon over to come over and eat it.
But even like
I'm thinking of like you have to capture the Pidgeot going after the Magikarp.
Yeah.
Very early in the game, that's one of your first little side objectives is to find a way to get Pidgeot to literally eat a Magikarp.
Yeah, but I just even mean like some of the Pokemon who were in, like, they show up sometimes and not other times, and they react differently depending on the time of day, and just like that kind of stuff where it's like, oh, that Bulbasaur isn't in that same spot every single time.
Right. Agreed.
I appreciate this new version a lot.
This one, released on the Switch, plus overpriced DLC, plus stupid Gen 8 garbage equals batty bad to the bone.
Ew, yuck.
Batty bad to the
Gen
bone.
8 garbage. Now, granted, I'm not a huge fan of the newer Pokemon. Well, newer. Like, after Emerald, so like half of them. But again, I still, even though I didn't necessarily know all the Pokemon, I was like, oh, that's cool that you could see these newer ones and stuff like that.
Very boring. You honestly do so little that it feels like a prototype for Pokemon Sleep. What? The first game was a 90s novelty, and this just exposes that fact. You haven't heard of Pokemon Sleep?
No.
It's stupid.
Oh, I have heard of it. Yeah.
You collect Pokemon while you sleep, and it's meant to be like a sleep tracker.
Yeah.
Pokemon has come out with all these mobile things.
I know.
They want to completely take over your life.
Yeah.
And they have, I'm surprised there isn't like I guess Pokemon Go was their version, but I was going to say, I'm surprised that there's not like a Pokemon workout app. But I guess that is Pokemon. The whole point was to get you outside, walking around and doing stuff. But yeah, Pokemon's trying to take over everybody's life.
Yep.
One of the worst games I've ever had the chance to play. Very short, repetitive, and without any evolution of the concept seen in the N64 version.
That's a lie.
I also disagree with that, yes.
That's like objectively not even true.
Yep.
This person scored this a 4. And remember, these are games that are good.
Understood. Yes.
It's a game of 2005 year, not of 2018 year. The main difficulty of this game is to cope with the controls and the camera. Sometimes it's hard to understand if a character should be able to get there or if it's just bad level design. There was good idea use a small number of mechanics with large number of different enemies, but the implementation of 2018 is just terrible.
2018. So the game came out in 2018?
No. There was a remaster.
Is this a Mario game?
No, this one is wild. It's less than okay. Feels like playing a better version of Pong. Same story, equal gameplay, working on my pile of shame, but this game is a shame and absolutely overrated.
Wow.
Which, when you find out what game this is, that is actually insane. This person is unwell. Everything in this game is luck based, which, again, not true. If you're playing through the story as is, then it will probably be okay. But trying to get that one particular trophy, well, good luck, because this PS2 game doesn't care for consistency. An annoying game. If I was a player played it at the time of PS2, I would consider the game as a unique product and have fun. But from the point of 2024, I would not suggest anyone waste their time on this game with boring exploration, terrible camera, and horse riding, and repetitive procedure of fighting with blank.
PS2 horse riding.
Said one of the main words of the
PS2 horse. Is this like Barbie's Adventure?
No. Terrible camera and horse riding and repetitive procedure of fighting with blank.
Have I played this? This isn't Red Dead Redemption, is it?
No.
That's a PS3
and I
game.
don't know if you've played this game or not, actually.
Have you played this game?
Yes. And you know I like this game.
Horse riding.
Terrible game, overhyped and overrated, clunky, terrible controls, horse controls like soap. The bosses are just one simple pattern you have to repeat 16 times.
Oh, it's Shadow of the Colossus.
Yes. Story is so boring and bland, they could have just let it out.
Yeah, that's another one of those games that like most people would tell you objectively is a phenomenal game.
And it is. So the person who compared it to Pong is seriously so unwell. I don't understand what's wrong with them. That's just like not true at all.
They're just being hateful to be hateful.
Yeah. I mean,
I've never played it. I've watched gameplay of it.
I agree. It's clunky. The controls are clunky, but I mean, that's PS2. Right. It's PS2. It's for the PS2.
The remaster looks gorgeous.
Yeah. For the PS2, it was incredible. Yeah. And I mean, really just an awesome game.
Yeah. That's such a incorrect.
And it's not luck based at all. It's very much skill based. It's very precise. And there's like very specific things that you need to do in order to
that guy's
beat
a weenie.
Each Colossus.
That guy's a weenie.
Yeah.
Oh, the Shadow of the Colossus. Wow. I'm going to finish out with a game that is objectively god awful.
Okay.
And I don't know if you know this game.
Oh boy.
You might, only because I know that you do enjoy the aspect that this game comes from. I don't want to give too much away.
Okay.
And to the point where it has 46 negative critic reviews.
Okay.
So nobody likes this game.
Got it.
Sadly, Blank is not the Precious that we were looking for. Blank's inner battle mechanics are fun, but aren't a prominent feature in a game consumed by terrible platforming sections and dated visuals. Voice acting adds promise to the experience along with a stellar soundtrack, but there's no real reason for you to play this game unless you yearn for a retro platforming experience or simply love Blank.
Is this the Hobbit game?
You're on the right track.
Okay.
More recent than that.
Even more recent.
This is actually a pretty recent game. The
cozy, I can't remember what it's called, but there's a cozy Hobbit
Not that
game.
one. No.
Okay.
Blank manages to appropriate the best features of one of the best and most complex characters created within an unquestioned mythology, but a limited aesthetic representation of the world surrounding it and sloppy movement systems prevent the game from being as precious as it should be.
So it's Lord of the Rings based?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, there was an open world. Was there an open world Lord of the Rings?
I don't know if this is an open world game or not. I never played it because, again, I saw how horrific it was. And it's basically a laughable comedy in the video game world.
Oh.
Much like the
recent?
namesake. Yes, fairly recent.
Okay.
Within a couple of years.
Okay.
Much like the namesake character itself, Blank couldn't be saved from what it became. Frustrating platforming coupled with boring gameplay and cheap ways to die make an experience hard to play. Unfortunately, the intriguing setting and lore exploration can't come close to overshadowing the game's fundamental issues.
Is this like
These are all critic reviews, by the way.
A Gollum game?
Yep.
Really?
Lord of the Rings Gollum.
I've never heard of this, I don't
It
think.
is new enough to have been released on the PS5.
Okay.
Released May 25th, 2023.
Whoa, okay, so actually older than I thought.
It has
What?
a critic score of 33
A Gollum game?
and a user score of 1.5.
Oof.
It is generally considered to be one of the worst games ever created.
Did Andy Serkis actually voice?
I don't think so.
Okay, I was going to say that's insane.
And this is another developer developed.
How have I never heard of this?
Because it's that bad.
Okay.
Developed by Daedalic Entertainment.
And they got the rights for Lord of the Rings and all of
Its poor reception and sales caused Daedalic Entertainment to cancel plans for a second game and close their development division, laying off staff and moving to a publishing-only model.
Oof.
It was later reported that they had imposed poor working conditions on their developers, which had affected the development of the game.
Oh.
They were awful to their employees.
And then the employees were just like, well, I'm not going to
Mhm.
do a good job.
Yep, basically.
Well, good for them. I hope
Yeah.
they are doing great things, and I hope
Here, let
they
me pull up some images of this game for
are
you.
getting the recognition they deserve. Because that's...
That's a 2023
Ew!
Yep. Yep. That's a game from 2020, the year of our Lord, 2023.
That looks like PS2. Ew!
Yep.
Ew!
Yep.
Oh, no!
Yep.
Oh, no. That's making my eyes water a little bit. I don't know why.
It actually looks like complete garbage.
Oh,
it looks
God.
like it was made by like a 3-year-old.
Yeah, that looks like it was made on like PlayStation 2.
Yep.
That's insane.
Yep.
Wow. Well,
Yeah. Well, it's okay. The company's not developing games anymore, so they're not mistreating their employees anymore.
Again, I hope those employees have found better work.
Easily one of the worst video games ever created. Period. End of story.
Wow.
And it sounds like it was done on purpose.
Yeah. Good for them.
Yeah. Great. Yeah.
Oh,
One of the
God.
worst games ever. And just absolutely horrific to look at. Just horrific.
Ew.
Oh, it's so bad.
That looks like
You need to go, if you've not looked at this game, you have to go image search it or go watch the video of this podcast because I'm for sure going to be putting some of these images up.
Oh, that's making my eyes water.
It's-
That's so bad.
It's bad. It's bad.
Oh.
It's so bad.
Well, that's fun. I'm glad I know that now.
I didn't know if you had heard of that game or not. I figured there was a chance being in the Lord of the Rings universe, because I know you love Lord of the Rings. I thought maybe like something on social media, the algorithm would have thrown that at you or something. But I'm even
surprised that like for a game so bad that I haven't even heard about it in a negative way.
Yeah.
It
was
horrifying.
A big deal for like a week of how bad it was. People did nothing. The video game community did nothing but talk about how awful it was, and then it just dropped from the face of the earth.
Probably because of the how negatively those people were treated. Yep. They just didn't even want to give it the time of day.
Correct. Right.
With good reason.
Company failed.
Good. That's what you get.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, man. Okay, are we going to wrap it on that one?
Yeah, I think we got it.
Wow. Alrighty. Well, thank you for watching. That is a wrap on this episode of That Co-op Podcast. How many games did you guess correctly? Let us know in the comments.
If you enjoyed this hate-filled episode, hit that follow or subscribe button, like the video if you're with us on YouTube, or leave us a 5-star review on your favorite podcast app. Every bit of support helps more people find the show.
And we will be back in 2 weeks on January 27th with episode 12. So stay tuned.
Thanks for gaming with us.
Bye.
Bye.